By UK, Bulgaria defeated the Allies with 100% of the score. And so boys, we did it. We defeated the Axis and the Allies as Bulgaria entirely on our own. Well, with a lot of puppet divisions, I'm not going to lie. But we did it by April 1941. Defeating the Axis and the Allies is impressive on its own, but doing it this early with a minor power, especially one like Bulgaria that starts literally with nothing, is quite satisfying. Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Bulgaria is definitely the most challenging country in the region. It has insane potential, but it's very difficult to achieve it. This was a tier 4 member request and it was a struggle, I'm not going to lie. But I'm glad I made this guide in the end, as I think it will be really helpful for people looking for an optimized approach to Bulgaria. With our strategy, we managed to keep RNG to a minimum, navigate through an insane amount of decisions and events to finally defeat both the Axis and the Allies. If you want to find out how, you are in the right place. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and join our Discord to meet our amazing community. And as always guys, if you enjoy the content I make, please don't forget to support the channel by liking the video, subscribing and leaving a comment. It really helps and it's free. That said, let's get started. As usual, all research and focus priorities are in the description, so they will not be covered in the edited version, and the dedicated spreadsheet covering all steps in detail is available to tier 2 members in our shared folder. Here is our construction priority. From now on, we're going to build military factories in the best available provinces, though it will be quite a while before we are done with this. We're also going to create an agency right away. Then as soon as we get our first spy, we're going to use it on diplomatic pressure in Yugoslavia. Here is our military production priority. And then as soon as we get our dockyard, we are going to use it to produce basic convoys. We are not going to train our army. We are not going to train our army, as we will eventually disband it entirely. We're going to fix trade and we're going to keep it under control. We are only going to skip deficits of 1 or 2. And we can start. As we create the agency, we're also going to pick the diplomatic training upgrade. As soon as we complete our first focus, we start a very long series of extremely fun decisions and faction management. Now, since this is very complex, I will not include it in the edited version. Instead, I will write down in the description what you need to do. This is also available in the Tier 2 in the Tier 2 dedicated spreadsheet, and this is also available in the Tier 2 membership spreadsheet, and you can watch the unedited version if you want to see everything in detail. So our first goal will be to destroy the Socialists. It's very important that you pick the decisions on cooldown and you don't waste any time. Now, when you complete this particular decision, there is a bit of RNG. There are three possible events. One is good, one is neutral, one is bad. If you get the bad one, I would highly recommend restarting the run because it can cause issues. In this particular run, we'll see what we get. If we get the good one, I will use console commands to deny it. I will explain a bit more in a second. Let's see which one we get first of all. Yeah, okay, this is the bad one, which means you need to restart. So this is not an event you can... So this is an event that could be acceptable, but it's really, really damaging in the long run. You have a 33% chance of getting this one, and if you do, you need to restart the whole run, not just reload a save, because this is in the seed of the run. If you're watching the unedited version, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload a run, which was one of my test runs. I prepared it just in case, so that we don't need to do the setup 1 billion times until we get the right one, right? The good thing is the event is very early in the run, so restarting is not a big deal at this point, and that's also why I would recommend restarting if you get that one. Right, so here we go again. Let's see what we get this time, and this is the neutral outcome. So when you get the good one, you get also 50 political power. That's the best possible outcome, but this one is still fine. What we really don't want is to miss that -10 faction popularity, because it will force us to pick a couple more events. We'll be in a deficit both in terms of time and political power for the entire run, which is a bit annoying. But this one is totally fine. Now, as soon as we get the political power, which might be a bit earlier if you were lucky with the event, or definitely now, we're going to pick the democratic reformer, and we're going to pick as soon as possible, I think it was the army defense, the army defense expert. Then, as soon as we complete this focus, we are going to pick anti-IMRO propaganda. Our next goal is a 20 army experience, political loyalty. At this point, we're also going to start improving relations with Yugoslavia, and we're going to get a non-aggression pact as soon as possible, which should be right away. Why does my city need to make announcements in Japanese whenever I'm recording? Don't know if you guys can hear it, but I close the windows. Now, as soon as we complete this focus, we are going to pick demonstrate our policies of peace. At this point, if you were lucky with the event, you may already have about 21% democracy support, in which case you want to remove this advisor, otherwise we'll do it a little bit later in our case. In our case, we'll do it a little bit later. I will probably not include this part, actually. It's okay. Okay, now as soon as we can pick this focus, we can also get rid of the democracy advisor. We don't actually want any democracy, so bye-bye. Next, as soon as possible, we want to negotiate the Bulgarian rearmament. I told you this run has a lot of decisions, an insane amount of decisions. And soon we should also get our facility done. We can assign and we can assign a scientist. We need to recruit one, make sure to recruit a land one, and assign it. Now, as soon as we complete this focus, more decisions for us. A lot of decisions. Once again, this will be included in the unedited version and in the description of the video, so check them out from there. The goal is to destroy the Agrarian Union and integrate the Zveno. In the meantime, however, we need to pick more decisions. Well, first of all, we finally got rid of army restrictions. And the immediate effect of this is that we're going to disband our army entirely. And at that point, we become able to pick this new decision, persecute IMRO activists, which we're going to pick. Then we also want to make a new army, a very interesting one. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an empty template with just one infantry. We're going to call it spam. So with I usually rename armies, I usually rename templates after tier 4 members of the channel, but I'm not sure anyone wants to be called spam. So yeah, this one will not be renamed. We're going to save it and we're going to recruit 40 of them. In the meantime, though, yeah. No, I didn't pick the focus. Oh my god. When did I not pick the focus? Well, that's it. What a disaster. Did I really not pick the focus? No, okay, we're fine. Ooh. Boys, the risks. The risks. Thank God that the autosave saved me. I don't know why I didn't pick it. Oh, whatever. So, what was the situation here? Well, don't forget to pick the focus. Okay, not yet. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so finally we remove army restrictions, which is great. The first thing we're going to do at this point is we're going to disband our army entirely. This means we can now pick a new decision, even more decisions. In the meantime, you need to keep picking these ones on cooldown. Don't forget any of them. So we're going to start with this one, and then we're going to create a new template. Going to call this spam to with, and we're going to recruit 40 of them. We want to force deploy them as soon as possible. But we also don't want to miss these decisions in the meantime. It's probably the most tedious part of the run, but we're almost done. Okay, we can now deploy them. We're going to do it right away, and then we're going to assign them all on a fallback line like this. This will allow us to pick more decisions later on. I'll make a save just in case from time to time. I think it's worth it in this run. By the way, I would recommend making backup saves in this run, because missing just one of the decisions, messing up the order a little bit, it's very easy to mess up this part, and it does have a big impact on the run, so... Now, when we imprison the agrarian, when we pick this decision, once again we have some RNG, but now it's a bit less impactful in the run, so it's fine either way. Of course, if you can avoid the bad one, it's better. As soon as you complete this focus, we are going to switch from export focus to free trade. Then as soon as possible, we're also going to pick this last decision to destroy IMRO completely. And I'm forgetting the focus again. It's insane. Thank God I didn't. But yeah, that's how it happens. Too many things, too many decisions all at once. It's crazy. Then you need to pick the focus. This run is absolutely crazy. This part of the run is absolutely crazy. Okay, actually in this case we got the best possible outcome, so where you also get 50 political power, but at this point it doesn't make a huge difference, so it's fine. We can destroy the Agrarian Union. Finally, we get rid of one more faction. We're getting closer. As soon as we complete this focus, more decisions, more. So now we want to pick brainwash political prisoners down here. Then as the Agrarian Union is destroyed, it's time to take care of Zveno. Again, you will find a list in the description. And again, I'm forgetting the focus. You want to keep this tab always open, because while you pick these decisions for Zveno, you also want to keep an eye here and pick these decisions as soon as they become available. So now we pick this decision down here. And now as soon as this is done, we get two more decisions. You want to pick them at the same time. And now we can finally also integrate that Zveno. We got rid of the Tsar. We're going to get a new one, a better one. As we complete this focus, we are going to recruit more spam. Specifically another 30 spam. Don't worry, if you don't have the equipment yet, you will get it eventually. You want to force deploy them constantly as soon as possible. Now, at the same time, we also want to start improving relations with Albania. No, let me do them all at once. So it's Albania, Greece, Turkey, Romania. So at the same time, we want to improve relations with all Albania. So at the same time, we are going to improve relations with Albania, Greece, Turkey, and Romania, all at the same time. That's not all though, because we're also going to use our spy on diplomatic pressure to get non-aggression pacts with Turkey, then Romania, then Albania in this order. So you need to keep an eye on the non-aggression pact and pick it as soon as possible, while at the same time force deploying these divisions when possible. Finally, some good news. It's actually very good news, because it's gone! Stupid faction system out of the way. Who thought about it? Who thought this was a good idea? Seriously. An aggression with Turkey. Now Romania. Deploy. There we go. Now Albania, and we are done. And we're very much ahead with these military engineering vehicles, but okay, sure. Dude was insane. He researched those flame tanks so fast. Final non-aggression pact. Almost done with spam as well. Now, if you thought we were done with decisions, you're wrong, because as soon as you complete this focus, you unlock a lot of new decisions. Look at this and look at how fun it is. But this part is actually fairly fun, so let's get into it. Yeah, a bit sad that I couldn't deploy my last spam, but it's okay. Now, here I would highly recommend making a backup save. Even on Iron Man, manually copy your save file, because while RNG is generally under control, there is always somebody in my guides, always someone that manages to get that 1% chance of people refusing when they usually always accept. So make the backup save. I do think that reloading this backup save can change the outcome, so this may be enough. Now, it's very important that you pick these decisions in the right order. And the right order is ultimatum to Yugoslavia. They accept. Subjugate Yugoslavia. They accept. Request forces from Yugoslavia. Then the same exact thing with Greece. Ultimatum. For fuck's sake. Yeah, of course, of course. Well, let's see if it is true that reloading helps. Subjugate the Kingdom of Greece. Perfect. Request forces. Now it's the time for Turkey. Ultimatum to Turkey. They accept. Subjugate Turkey. They accept. Request forces. Almost out of danger. Almost done. Ultimatum to Romania. They accept. Subjugate Romania. They accept. Take forces. And Albania. Don't mess it up, Albania. Ultimatum to Albania. They accept. Subjugate Albania. They accept. And request forces. All very good. This Albania part may be delayed a little bit if you didn't get any good events. You have slightly less political power, but it's fine. So, as we saw, reloading the backup save helps. The percentage chance of them refusing is very low, but there is a chance. Just make the backup save and reload it if needed. This is a run where save scamming is absolutely fine, because Bulgaria is a freaking nightmare, so that's fine. Now at this point we get suddenly some civilian and military factories. We're going to build more military factories. Nah, I probably don't need to say that. So from now on we're going to prioritize building military factories in the best available provinces, including the puppet ones. However, we are generally going to prioritize generally we want to prioritize building in Yugoslavia whenever possible, because we want to eventually integrate and annex them. Moreover, I would recommend not building on the border with Germany, because this part is going to likely... No, let's forget about that. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. No. Now we also want to get 2 more upgrades for the agency. Any is fine. I usually get naval and army. And we're going to use our spy to spy. And we're going to use our spy on Build Intel Network in Germany. Now we do need to fix trade. First we need to change this though. Train trucks up one. Did I maybe fix this? No. We're going to design our flame tank and add it to the production as well. And okay. And we're going to design our basic, and we're going to design our SPGs as well. So this is the design. We're going to save it, add it to the production, and this is the final production priority at this point of the run. Oh my god. I decreased the production of infantry equipped to 1 and then back to 7 so that we prioritize building all these equipment types and then as soon as possible, as many SPGs as possible. Now we're going to fix trade and we're going to import from puppets, except Yugoslavia. We really want to avoid importing from Yugoslavia because we want to integrate them. We're also going to ignore deficits of 1 or 2. No, 2 we're not going to ignore. And we're also going to ignore deficits of 1. We're not done just yet as we now need to set up our army for upcoming wars. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our default infantry template into a new one, which will be renamed today. I'm sorry, tier 4 members of the channel, not after you, but I need to give something back to a member that helped me a lot with this guide. Without him, it wouldn't have been possible. So, Vades, you do get the best offensive divisions of the run. Not yet, but we'll get there. You will see them. So, we're going to call them offs. What we want them to be is 8-1, so we're going to remove 1 infantry and add 1 medium SPG. Then we're also going to add the support artillery, anti-air and flame tanks. So this is already starting to look like a decent template. We're going to make them elite, give them a cooler icon and save them. Yeah, we're not going to recruit. So any undeployed spam can be removed. What we're going to do now is we're going to change 15 spam. Yeah, my math is awesome. 15. Let me check it's right. So we're going to change 15 spam into this new offensive template. As for the other spam, we are going to disband them entirely. Now we're going to promote Nicola as H, right? Nicola H. Yeah. We're going to promote Nicola to be our new marshal, offensive marshal at least. As you can see, he's actually pretty good. Awesome. Then we're going to use our best offensive general for the offs. And now we're going to use all of these puppet divisions, a huge army that we want to split around a little bit. So we want all mountaineers to be in their own army. I can probably do it from here. No, because I cannot find them from here. Yeah, but I can probably remove the infantry. I'm not sure this is faster in the end, but what the hell is this?
Да, командире. Готови за движение. Заповеди, командире.
Alright, so ideally we want an army with all of the mountaineers, which will also be with this marshal, an army with all of the cavalry and motorized armored templates, also with this same marshal, and the rest should be just infantry, which we're going to evenly split into groups of 24.
Готови за движение. Внимание. Заповеди, командире. Заповеди, командире!
For these infantry armies, we're going to use the other marshal.
Unaredite! Da, comandire!
And that's it. They will keep growing, by the way, as we get more puppet divisions.
Vнимание!
Now our next target is going to be Hungary, so we're going to set up all of these divisions except for the offensive ones, which have no strength and training at the moment, ready to push into Hungary.
Zapovedi comandire!
Hungary is quite easy, but you can use the motorized and cavalry here in the center to break through and then rush victory points. As for the second marshal, I usually just go for a marshal line. We don't need to micro too much. In the meantime, though, we want to increase motorization priority, aggressively execute battle plans, and train these divisions up to regular, and these divisions too. Why not? Okay, let's not make this again.
Da, comandire! Gotov!
Let's set these divisions so they don't suffer from attrition, ideally.
Vнимание!
Now, we want to justify a claim on Hungary, and we want to get it around November 1938. Which mean, ideally, we should start justifying it around mid-late June. Now it should be a good time. I mean, you can do the math. Also, the claim lasts for a couple of months, but it should be good enough. Now, as soon as possible, we're finally going to get away from civilian economy into partial mob. I want to check one thing though. I'm not sure, but maybe we could go poor economy if we wait until we declare on Hungary. Definitely until we declare on Italy, but that's a bit too late. Staying on civilian economy until then, it's not ideal. But I don't know about Hungary. I don't know if it counts only the factories we directly control as Bulgaria, or if it counts the puppet ones. With the puppet ones, we probably cannot. But worth maybe a try. Well, in case I'll do it and give us back maybe the political power. I'll reload this save. Or maybe not, it's okay. But I may mention it for the guy. Okay, at the same time, we're also going to switch the spy as soon as it gets to 50%. Next, as soon as the spy gets to 50% Intel network, we switch to quiet network.
Che posto naredite?
Okay, we got our claim on Bulgaria a bit early, but again, we have a couple of months to use it. We want to wait because... Okay, we got the claim on Hungary, but it's still a bit early. We want to wait until they get this piece of land through an event. It will happen around the end of November. If you wait even longer, they sometimes also get this part here, but this is not particularly worth it, while this one is quite rich, so it's a lot of extra resources and industry for us. If we just wait 1 month. If we just wait for 1 more month. Next, as soon as we complete this focus, we get some awesome discounts for doctrines. So we're going to pick Grand Battle Plan for free. Then we're going to pick Grand Assault. And we're going to pick the Tactic. Okay, now we're just waiting for Hungary to take that piece of land. Should happen soon. There we go. As soon as they get it, you're free to attack them. Make sure we have all of our puppet divisions. Not because we need them, but it's better to have them fight on our side. So don't share the score. Okay, so war on Hungary, and we need to call Yugoslavia and Romania into it as well. And we can start all of our offensives, and the only one we need to slightly micro is here in the middle. Because if we can rush Budapest, then we can rush the other victory points. Nice, a last stand immediately. That's awesome. Broke through from here. Not what I was planning, but that's okay. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to check if I could go war economy. But I don't think that's the case anyway, so that's easy. We did take some maybe now, but I don't think we took enough. Now, as soon as possible, we're also going to pick the infantry. As soon as possible, we're also going to pick the infantry expert. Can we stop? Can we please not last stand constantly, please? Would be awesome. Oh, for fuck's sake. My god, it's a constant last stand. It's crazy. Oh, finally. Okay, good. Now we're going to Balkanize Hungary, and this is going to be awesome. You will see what happens with this puppet Slovakia, but it's one of my favorite tricks of the run. Absolutely fantastic. Resource rights, war operations. So do keep in mind on free trade, resource rights are a bit of a trade-off. You don't really get much of the resources. They are traded away, but you do get sieves in return. And as soon as we are done with Hungary, we want to set up for Italy and Germany. No rest for us. So what we need to do is we need to build max forts and then max anti-air in North Slovenia along the entire border with Germany. Also, this must be the absolute priority. If you have a factory that is almost done, like in this case, maybe this one, yes, it's okay, you can finish them, but then priority to forts and anti-air. Now we also got a faction point. Will you look at that? And we're going to use it to become spy master and then to pick this guy as our spy master. And this will give us an additional spy that we're going to use to get a collaboration government in Germany. Now, as soon as possible, in this case we're a bit early, but we want to start producing armored support vehicles. We're going to assign 3 factories to them. We're going to take them from the SPGs, and we're going to add the assault and we're going to change our we're also going to change our engineers to assault engineers in the evades template.
Готовы! Внимание!
Now, we don't want to be completely out of fuel, so we're going to import some from Romania. Luckily, we have access to a lot of fuel. And then as soon as possible, we are going to integrate Yugoslavia. Second spy means collaboration government in Germany. Let's go for it. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm not used to it yet. So, hated MIOs, we can now load our favorite setup. It's a bit clunky, but it does work. So you can save your infantry equip setup in here, then you can click it from here, and somehow it seems to work. So that's good. Finally. When you get the MIO, you also unlock pit for the production, so don't forget to set it up in here too, later on for artillery as well. Now let's get some defensive doctrine on our second marshal, these will help.
Внимание! Готовы!
Now, as soon as we complete this focus, we can pick a few more doctrines and get ready for Italy and Germany. It's going to be tough, but we'll get it done. So first of all, we're going to pick assault infantry, followed by self-propelled support if you have access to it. Then we're going to pick the first Mountaineers doctrine, and we're going to add Rangers to our Vades template. Then whenever possible, in this case we can already do it, we're going to pick the second doctrine in here, followed as soon as possible by static warfare. This is a spirit I almost never picked, but it's going to help us a lot against Germany later on. I'm now going to fix all trade types in order not to miss the notification, otherwise it's easy to be in a deficit and not to notice.
Gotowi za движение!
Alright, so now we are perfectly on time. Our offensive divisions are almost entirely trained, although we still have a bit of a deficit in terms of equipment, but we're getting there. It's okay. So we need to move them to the border with Italy. It's going to be very important to rush Italy as soon as they attack us, because they will actually not have divisions here, and we need to take advantage of that. We're going to use the Mountaineers to sustain this offensive, especially defensively, and then we're going to use the motorized cavalry from puppets to rush victory points and important parts of the front. The other army can be on a martial line to defend the border with Germany, only until here, because we're not going to call Hungary into this war. Let's make sure there are no puppet divisions left around. We need all of them. Italy will attack us in about 1 month, so we need to be ready. Yeah, no, I need to do this army setup a little bit more. Or again, at least. So for the second marshal, we're going to use one army at the border. For the second marshal, we're going to use a couple of armies at the border with Germany. Germany will not be involved right away, but we still need to be ready. Then we're going to use an army here to immediately kill the divisions in Zara. We're not going to port cheese them because it's a bit annoying, but you can do it for a little bit if you want. And the last army will be on area defense, protecting the coastline of Yugoslavia and Albania. Now, an option that you have here is to leave some space in Albania, let the Italian disembark. They actually send a lot of divisions here. It can be beneficial, but it's not necessary. If you struggle in Italy though, you can consider that to divert some of their divisions.
Gotowi za движение! Стройся!
I like the timing. We got the training just when we needed it. A bit low on supplies, but nothing too bad.
Заповеди, командире!
Okay, and let's get ready, because Italy will be ready soon. There we go. So Italy attacks Albania. We are at war with Italy, and we need to take advantage of what you see right here. One Italian division, nothing else. This front is completely undefended. Typical Italian move. Awesome job, Mussolini. If you have the political power, switch to extensive conscription. Save. So we need to call Yugoslavia into the war, and then we need to start all of these offensives in this area, and especially we want to make sure we rush the entire border with Germany as fast as possible, and we rush to Venezia as fast as possible. This will be the starting point with supply hubs to manage everything. We can also block sea regions to avoid getting raided. This one too. And slow down the speed. You want to be careful here. We're going to kill Tsar. No port cheese this time.
Какво ще наредите? Напред! Готови за движение!
And the army that was covering Zara now needs to be on a fallback line in a very careful position, because when Germany joins Italy, which will happen around the end of July, Yugoslavia will fall into a civil war, which can be very annoying, so we need to be ready for that. Bosnia will not be affected by the civil war, so Bosnia will be on our side in the civil war, so we need to set up this army on a fallback line following exactly the border of Bosnia, like this. The southern part doesn't matter. So you want something like this.
Внимание! Продължавайте напред! Внимание!
Okay, we got Venezia. This was the most important thing. Now we should be able to manage. And the other important thing is we managed to cut off Germany entirely. So now we can assign these defensive armies to the entire border against Germany. So that we are ready as soon as they join the war. The other thing we want to do as soon as possible is we want to build max forts in this area too, and also max anti-air in this area too. We cannot build it here yet, but... And these two has to be the priority. I'm trying not to do anything crazy in terms of microing. The important thing is possibly getting across the rivers faster. If you can split Italy into two, it's going to be beneficial. The idea though is that you don't need crazy micro skills to pull this off.
Мирно! Заповеди, командире! Заповеди, командире! Внимание!
Very good. It's going quite well here. Obviously, guys, if you get stuck, you cannot push into Italy, you cannot abuse this initial gap they leave with their divisions. That's a restart, or I mean, reload before the war, because being stuck against Italy and then Germany joining is a big problem, and the timing, as you can see, is fairly tight. So while this is not particularly hard to do, if you fail at doing it, you will need to restart.
Какво ще наредите? И аз ще улово!
I think we can now build max anti-air in here too. That's perfect. And from now on, we also want to make sure that we have at least one factory assigned to repairs. This is particularly important later on when Germany joins, because they will have a lot of strategic bombing on us. Ooh. Oh yeah, guys, something extremely important now. Do not forget, I remember just in time, we need to go into the division designer, open the puppet divisions, open puppet Yugoslavia, and duplicate their cavalry template. Let's call it cav. Wait, actually, let's do it with Romania. Do they have a decent cav? Yeah. So go into the puppet divisions, go into Romania and duplicate their cavalry, the one with only cavalry, and let's call it cav. Wait, did I want the Romania one though? Copy. Yeah, oh, sorry, copy, not duplicate. Yeah, so we want to copy... Oh my god, let me do that again. Okay, let me do the whole thing again. Sorry, boys. Okay, guys, so one thing that you should absolutely not forget as soon as you have some occupied land in Italy is go into occupied territory... No, is go into the templates, open puppet templates, check Romania, and then make a copy of their cavalry that has only cavalry, so copy, and then well, you can change it to cav if you want, but the important thing is that you use it in occupied territories as the default garrison template. Select it and then switch to local police force. This will massively help with manpower, which is a struggle for us. Did my army experience go?
Заповеди, командире! Готови за движение! Тръгваме! Внимание! Напред!
Everything is looking alright here.
Командире! Какво ще наредите? Какво ще наредите? Продължавайте! Какво ще наредите? Готови!
Very good, we already managed to cut off the Italians into two parts, and Germany is not joining yet, so we're doing a great job here.
Какво koszty naredite! Jašte u lovo! Gotowi za движение! Stroj se!
We don't want to stop, we want to keep the pressure up. Italy still has divisions. If they send them back from Africa, we may be in trouble.
Da! Stroj se! Gotowi za движение! Заповеди, командире!
Mussolini down.
Внимание! Да, командире! Мирно! Какво ще наредите? Заповеди, командире! Готови!
No.
Да! Внимание! Заповеди, командире!
There we go, Italy joins Germany, so soon Germany will be in the war, and the biggest problem will be this civil war here. This front is okay, although if you struggle here in the early phase, you don't want to lose any tile, of course, that's obvious. So if you lose any single fortified tile, you will be in massive trouble with Germany. So holding this line is the absolute priority, and to make that a little bit easier, we're going to increase the motorization priority in all of these supply hubs here. Though we will still have issues with supplies as soon as the civil war triggers, so we want to finish it as fast as possible while managing these two fronts. Ideally, if you can get rid of one of the two fronts, then you can move all of the mountaineers to hold this part here in the mountains and keep pushing just with the offensive divisions and motorized and cavalry. Attack, artillery, discard. For some reason I did remembers and it works. How awesome, how awesome. And then I also need to remember to do this. That's also awesome. What do you want from me?
Заповеди, командире! Готови!
As we got our collaboration government in Germany. Now, in theory, you could make another one if you wanted to, though that's quite a lot of industry that goes into Germany, and we don't have the manpower to annex Germany, so I'm not entirely sure it's worth it. It's up to you.
Продължавайте!
And by the way, guys, this war is going particularly well. If you're a little bit behind by the time Germany joins, don't worry. It's okay, it's normal. It's probably going well because Italy has most of their divisions stuck in here. That may be the reason.
Отблъскваме ги! Да, командире!
The primary goal here is to trigger the civil war. There we go. So Germany joins. Let's be very careful.
Мирно! Внимание! Обратно! Какво ще наредите?
Okay, Germany is in the war. I wonder why Yugoslavia is not in a civil war yet, but they should be soon in here.
Какво ще наредите?
There we go. So civil war in Yugoslavia, the most dangerous part of the run, because now these divisions will lack supplies and we cannot afford to lose this front. We need to defend it at all costs. So here we do need a little bit of micro. The micro doesn't have to be crazy, but you need to be careful. So you need to use these divisions on a fallback line and rush as fast as possible Croatia, I believe, which is the other faction in this civil war.
Внимание! Внимание!
Oh, by the way, guys, the trick I forgot to show you, but remember how we puppeted a bit of Slovakia here? Well, guess what? Germany kindly gifted us the rest of it, so now all of Slovakia is our puppet for free. Well, that's pretty cool. We're going to use the Slovakian divisions against Germany now. Yeah, we actually have divisions almost for another full army, which is awesome. I don't want to see anyone not moving. Move, move, move. We can now move all of the defensive army.
Заповеди, командире! Готови! Мирно! Я ще улово! Тръгваме! Какво ще наредите?
A last stand here would be painful, I'm not going to lie, so hopefully they will not do it.
Внимание! Тръгваме!
It's looking good. I think we should be able to get it done.
Тръгваме!
If anything, use a last stand yourself, but don't lose any of these tiles. Okay, done with Croatia. I would say the most difficult part of the run is now over.
Внимание!
Now we can give back this land to Yugoslavia. We don't need it, and it's burning our very limited manpower.
Заповеди, командире!
And we can now assign all of these remaining armies to the front with Germany. Make sure it holds. And speaking of which, we're going to pick static warfare.
Внимание! Продължавайте! Хайде! Движение!
Oh, my main question is, where is the Italian civil war? Because that's another one we are looking for.
Какво ще заповядате? Напред!
Probably need to get to Taranto to trigger it.
Какво ще наредите?
Oh, okay. So this is something that we really don't want to see. It's a bit buggy because we shouldn't be losing this, but we want to make sure that we don't lose it. So if needed, we need to use a last stand. Just don't lose the tile.
Готови за движение!
And we also may need to micro a little bit, make sure that they go there.
Мирно! Тръгваме! Тръгваме!
Yeah, okay, it looks like we recovered it. We're fine.
Готови за движение! Готов!
Italy, can you remember to have a civil war, please?
Продължавайте атаката!
So killing all of their divisions is not necessarily beneficial, because if they survive, we'll take them. Okay, finally civil war. Very good that they got Sicily. When the civil war part doesn't get Sicily, it can be annoying to capitulate the other Italy. But in this way, it should capitulate instantly, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. So we didn't get the transfer territory message, but that's not a big problem because we don't want to transfer territory in any case here. At least not through the event. We're going to do it manually. We're going to right click them, give them control of states, and give them most of the states.
Да, командире! Обратно!
But actually the civil war is not over. Ah yeah, now it is over. Okay, perfect. So since later we'll get a very good focus, which is toppling giants, we need for it to have a border with France and a border with Germany. So we're going to give back to Italy. So we're going to give back to our Italian puppet control of several of their states, but not all of them. Yeah, I forgot that Italy hates Naples, so they don't want it. They actually hate Puglia too. Awesome. But you can give them back the rest. Of course, Italians don't like southern Italy. That's known. Okay, I think that's enough. I think we can keep the rest.
Разбрано!
Now, while it may seem strange, we are about to get into a more chill part of the run. We're going to set our mountaineers to hold the front here. We're going to set the motorized divisions on a full back line somewhere in here. And we're going to send back all of these divisions also on a full back line, as they will need to go through quite a lot of training now, because we're going to change our template and make it even better. So our final goal is to get to 30 with 10 infantry battalions and 5 SPG battalions, but we don't have enough army experience yet, so we'll gradually get there. At the same time, we're also going to recruit another 5 of our offensive divisions. We want to force deploy them as soon as possible. Now we're also going to influence... Romania, Yugoslavia and Turkey. The primary goal here is to decrease the autonomy a little bit and counter some of the combat casualties and imports from them. Although, if you're unlucky, they might still get some autonomy. That's fine. It's not ideal, but cannot be prevented entirely. Oh yeah, I was wondering what divisions are these. These are Soviet Union divisions. Cool.
Внимание! Готовы!
Oh, and by the way, we can now request forces from our Italian puppet as well, so we get another full army.
Внимание!
The shittiest of them, but, you know, whatever.
Мирно! Готовы!
I mean, we gain access to the Italian camels now, so now we're fine. Let's say that this is a free army. Now our next priority in terms of buildings, our next absolute priority after finishing the forts is to build in Italy to decrease the autonomy as fast as possible. So that's an absolute priority. Yeah, I'm going to move this to the bottom. Yeah, so in the case of Romania, probably in the case, yeah, so probably Romania will be able to become a colony, and that's sad, but fine.
Заповеди, командире!
Now for this part of the run, we're just happy to see the Germans crush themselves against our forts, dying in heavy numbers. Not yet, but soon. And by the way, we're going to use our spies to spy more on Germany. In this case, not for a collaboration government, but to get the Intel network advantage.
Стройся! Готов!
Okay, our template is now ready. We just need them to be trained. Italy, you still really hate the south, huh? Just don't want it. Fine.
Внимание!
You can go at speed 5, but keep an eye here because sometimes the front gets bugged and they can push through, which is annoying. They generally shouldn't be able to, as you can see, but... Now, Poland refuses the ultimatum from Germany, but usually Germany, being so busy with us, does not attack them.
Готовы за движение! Готовы за движение! Готовы!
Guess we can use our faction points for some more stuff that I cannot pick. Or anything useful here? You know what? Doesn't matter.
Внимание!
Bad. Yeah, this is a bit sad, but fine. It's actually way more important that we can integrate Italy quickly, and we're getting there slowly.
Da, comandire! Готови! Мирно! Мирно!
Take a look at the casualties, by the way. The 70k we got are basically... The 70k we got are from before, but look at Germany. Almost 500,000 already. They really love our forts. Look at them.
Готови за движение!
Stop capturing my agents, come on. Easy to miss this one, but okay, we're basically there with Italy. Let's integrate them.
Внимание!
Oh my god. Yeah, that's Italy. That is Italy. We can now complete our doctrines with streamlined deployment.
Готови за движение!
And we're just waiting for these divisions to be ready, not so much in terms of training, but we still need quite a decent amount of SPGs. So we're going to wait for them when we have them. We're going to start our offensive into Germany from Hungary and Slovakia.
Готови! Я ще улово! Тръгваме! Заповеди, командире! Продължавайте напред! Я ще улово! Да, командире! Какво ще наредите? Внимание!
Okay, I'd say we are basically there in terms of SPGs, almost in terms of training. We don't need to be at full training with all divisions, so we can get ready to push into Germany. Now, the first push into Germany is not going to be super hard. However, as you can see, they have a lot of divisions here. If we can encircle them and kill them, that would be awesome, but pushing this tile from the south is almost impossible. So our goal will be to push from here. First of all, cut them off here by reaching this natural border, and then go all the way around. Cut them off with Switzerland and France maybe, and then encircle as many German divisions down south as possible. So for that we're going to use mainly our offensive divisions that we're going to set up in here like this, and the goal will be to push this area. I want to also take away the supply hub, so the few divisions left in here will be completely out of supplies. We can keep our faster divisions with them, and then of course we also need to defend the Slovakian border. So at this point, to make things a little bit easier, we're going to change these front lines, and we're going to set them on a martial line. We're going to set this army on a martial line to cover the front entirely. This may mess it up a bit at some point. That's actually maybe not a good idea. Let's forget about that. Never mind, sorry. We can now give offensive lines also to these defensive armies, just in case we want to pin down some enemy divisions. We can do it with planning.
Тръгваме! Продължавайте атаката! Продължавайте атаката!
And then we do need to protect... and then of course we need to protect this front entirely. Hopefully I did everything correctly. There is somebody without commands. Who is without commands?
Продължавайте атаката!
Who is without commands?
Продължавайте напред!
Sorry. Yep, let's set another one on the entire front. It should be good enough.
Готов!
The Germans are moving some divisions up, so if we can attack them before they are ready, that's perfect. Let's make a backup save just in case. And then we simply call Hungary and Slovakia into the war, and we start the offensive immediately. Don't spend political power on anything but annexing Italy. This is the highest priority, so make sure you save political power for it and you keep building in Italy for it. Germany is weaker than before, but they still have a lot of divisions, so we shouldn't underestimate them. Though our template is extremely good, this is the template we are using at the moment. Not only it has great stats, but it also has very good terrain modifiers, as you can see. Unfortunately, they are running away quite well. I think this is also a good time to switch to logistical focus. We don't need static warfare anymore. We are now on the offense.
Да, командире! Какво ще наредите? Строй се!
Okay, so we cut them off. Unfortunately, a lot of divisions got away, but it's still okay.
Напред!
Now we want to focus on pushing from here. We still have another chance of a big encirclement in this area here. Let's see if we can get it.
Готови за движение! Заповеди, командире! Мирно!
Yeah, I mean, they know it's bad and they are trying to run away. Let's see if we can stop them.
Строй се! Готови! Мирно! Мирно!
Okay, one thing you need to be very careful about is not to run out of oil, so if needed, import more oil. It looks like we need a lot of oil.
Готові за движение! Готові за движение! Готові за движение! Готов!
Really like them to push where I tell them, not everywhere, but okay.
Готові за движение! Готові за движение! Бегом марш! Да, командире! Разбрано! Внимание! Внимание! Да! Внимание!
Okay, hey, it's not very pretty, but we did get an encirclement down here, so I'm not going to complain. See if we can also fully close it though.
Продовжуйте наперед! Внимание! Готові за движение!
It's not a full encirclement yet until we get there.
Стройся!
Careful.
Продовжуйте наперед! Готов! Наперед! Заповеди, командире! Да, командире! Да, командире!
We need to move some of these southern armies to now cover the entire front there, which is a little bit messed up.
Готові за движение! Хайде!
As we attempt to kill these Germans.
Готов! Мирно! Стройся! Стройся!
This is nice. This is juicy. That's a lot of divisions there.
Я ж те улово!
That's a lot of divisions in that one tile. This is freaking Soviets attacking into them with those red numbers. They scare me.
Разбрано! Заповеди, командире! Какво ще наредите? Внимание! Какво ще наредите? Готови за движение!
Okay, Germany. It's time to end this encirclement, and I can see already they don't have many divisions left. So after this one, it will be a cakewalk to Berlin.
Заповеди, командире!
Painful casualties for Germany. Painful casualties for us too, I must say. It's acceptable.
Заповеди, командире!
And this is absolutely awesome. Okay, now that this is done, we can simplify our front situation a little bit. Use a full martial line, so we don't need to worry about it anymore. Give them a nice offensive line in case we need to push with them. Couple of extra safety armies here.
Какво ще наредите? Да! Какво ще наредите?
And we can probably get another encirclement on this side. Should make things easier for later on. But then now Germany should be very, very easy to push. So don't forget to upgrade the SPG design, and I think even the flame tank design we can upgrade. Yes, we can. Let's go for that too. And now in terms of production we can make some changes. So we're going to take a lot of factories away from SPGs, changing the production in this way. As you can see, it's quite simple.
Мирно! Заповеди, командире!
There we go. Upgrade again. How about we take this piece of land with nobody? Look at these British volunteers, so useless. And if it looks like Germany is fairly close to falling, I would say so, then it's time to justify claims on Luxembourg and Belgium. We need to justify on Belgium first. Yeah, we need to justify on Belgium first, then Luxembourg. This way we get the two claims at the same time.
Внимание!
Now it's a bit on the early side, I'm not going to lie, but hopefully we'll get this war done quickly. We are doing great. If you're late with the war, delay the claims. It's no need to hurry.
Мирно!
Okay, here we can definitely push.
Внимание! Готови за движение! Какво ще наредите?
Where are my supplies? Why am I not getting any supplies? Not connected yet. Okay.
Мирно! Готови! Прикрийте се! Я ще уловам!
Nice, another encirclement. Not that many divisions in it, but that's simply because Germany doesn't have many divisions in general.
Готови за движение!
Whatever is in it will be destroyed. Now we're going to make some more changes to our Vades of S, and we're going to bring it to a total width of 36 by adding max amount of SPGs.
Готови за движение! Заповеди, командире!
Tell you what, we may even have too many divisions here. I'm going to pull off some of them. No need for them to be there.
Готови! Готови за движение! Готов! Мирно! Внимание!
No more divisions for Germany. It's over. I'm still pushing only with the offensive divisions to preserve manpower, but especially to avoid giving too many points to the puppets.
Готови за движение!
If you're late though, you can consider rushing with everybody.
Внимание! Стройся! Внимание!
I think we're almost done. What's the status, Germany? Despite a collaboration government, they still need to go very much down. But yeah, that's it. Germany is down. Bulgaria defeated the Axis alone. Well, alone, kind of alone, let's say. Okay, now we need to be careful and do the peace conference correctly. Let's also make it safe. Now, first of all, we're going to give back to Yugoslavia their cores, which are these ones, this one, and this one. I'm sorry, Italy. Very, very sorry, but Dalmatia is not yours anymore. Then we are going to puppet plus for ourselves Austria and Czechoslovakia. And then we are going to annex the part of Germany at the border with the Netherlands and Belgium, and at the border with Poland. Not necessarily this part here, though. Then we can simply puppet what is left. Italy should take back their course on their own, so you don't usually need to do anything there. Let's take... so, more reparations. And resource rights as usual. And then, very important, take the entire German and Italian navies. This is absolutely mandatory. Let's confirm. And let's be very happy. But we're not done yet. Now, the next absolute priority is to annex Italy, to take the rest of their navy. And we're very close. In fact, we are going to be there very soon. Sooner that we get the political power. But we're going to get the political power shortly after. If you're a bit late with the annexation process of Italy, maybe you took them down a bit later, you can simply start a Lend-Lease and send them all of your convoys and trains. Then as soon as you annex them, you will get back convoys and trains.
Внимание!
So our next goal will be to take down Poland very quickly. Poland is a major, so it's very annoying if you don't take care of them fast. We're going to use our best offensive divisions to take them down. By the way, the other reason to take down Poland fast is that then the Soviet Union will attack them in any case and steal our precious war score. We don't want that. So Poland needs to go down fast.
Готовы за движение! Разбрано! Внимание!
Then we're going to keep a couple of... Then we're going to keep a couple of defensive armies to make sure the allies don't push us in here in the meantime. And the rest is entirely free.
Мирно! Готовы за движение!
I'd recommend again sending too many divisions or you will struggle with supplies.
Внимание!
And by the way, we have a bit of an issue now with importing, so we need to switch off free trade, but Italy is a higher priority, so for now, it's okay.
Готові! Готові за движение! Готові за движение! Мирно!
Okay, so we got our claims. Okay, so we got our claims, but it's a bit early. We want to annex Italy before we declare war on the Allies, so we can move the entire fleet to northern Germany before we are at war. Very close, as you can see here. And even if you're late, even if you're a bit late with even if you had a bit less political power, the next focus is going to fix that problem.
Готов!
Okay, there we go. All good. Now we can annex Italy. Awesome. Now we're going to do some ugly stuff with Italy. I'm not going to lie to you. But before we do that, we need to send our fleet to Germany. So we'll position it in here. Now we're going to select all of the Italian divisions and we're going to disband them all except the stupid annoying ones that cannot be disbanded. Who cannot be? Ah, the Camicia Nera, yeah. Who the fuck cannot be disbanded here? These guys. No, these guys can be disbanded. Hey, what? The camels. Oh, the camels cannot be disbanded. You cannot disband. You need to fight with the camels. Insane. Okay, so everything else we're going to disband. That's gonna give us a lot of manpower, which we very much need. And then, yeah, as I said, we're going to do something ugly with Italy, but this is entirely optional. Actually, Bulgaria, for the rest of the run, becomes absolutely insane, because the next goal will be to go down this path and eventually get to this focus. You're not going to see it in this run, because we're going to finish the run and defeat the Allies before we get to this point. But this gives you an insane amount of compliance, 0-15% daily compliance. This means that occupying territories as Bulgaria is awesome. The problem is doing that when you don't have manpower. So if you're willing to wait for a bit longer, it's better to keep Italy under your control. But I like the idea of actually releasing Italy into 1 billion puppets. It seems fun to me, so I'm going to do that. I mean, you cannot deny that this is pretty ugly to see. So, awesome.
Gotovi!
Okay, we got about 1 month. We just need the fleet to get out of here. And now the absolute priority is building in Yugoslavia, as we also need to annex Yugoslavia as soon as possible. We are annexing Yugoslavia because we can core part of it, and also because we need it to actually pick this focus. Okay, the fleet safely got to northern Germany. Time for the Allies and time for Poland. Oh, where are my claims? Okay, we got a claim on France. Belgium, Luxembourg. But especially, we hope that Poland will join as soon as possible, so we can push them. There we go. Poland is in it. Now, Poland has a lot of divisions, especially because the French and the Brits are sending them divisions. If we can cut them off from the sea quickly, that's awesome.
Koszty naredite! Gotowi za движение! Tragvame! Tragvame!
Okay, that's perfect.
Внимание!
Wait, we can use some of these free divisions to make sure we don't get navally invaded.
Внимание! Готови! Внимание! Готови! Какво ще наредите? Внимание! Какво ще наредите?
Look at the amount of British divisions here. That's going to be fun. That's all British divisions we're not going to fight in England. I won't complain.
Внимание! Да, командире! Строй се!
We're almost there.
Разбрано! Разбрано!
This is our Dunkirk, basically.
Готови! Внимание!
Ooh, we may get it. Ooh, painful! Whoa! Disappeared by Poland.
Готови за движение!
Awesome, awesome. Even some French. Plenty of fun to have here.
Какво ще наредите?
Let's get ready. Let's get rid of them entirely.
Внимание! Какво ще наредите? Какво ще наредите? И аз ще улово!
Oh damn, we're getting pushed in here.
Хайде, движение! Внимание!
Awesome. This is the only part we were kind of in a hurry to do, because if you're late, the Soviet Union joins. It's not against you, but they still the worst.
Внимание!
Now we can take care of the allies.
Стройся! Внимание! Внимание! Какво ще наредите?
And by the way, guys, because we prevented Germany from attacking Poland, the war tension, due to these stupid changes they made in No Compromise, No Surrender, is extremely low. So the funny thing is, the United States cannot even join the allies, even if they wanted to.
Внимание!
And let's go. I see a lot of divisions there. That's a lot of divisions for sure.
Заповеди, командире!
See if we can encircle some more.
Я ще улово!
Belgium is down, so maybe we can get to encircle them.
Готови за движение!
They may be able to run away. Netherlands down.
Внимание! Готови! Заповеди, командире! Внимание!
Yeah, and I forgot we have 1 billion spies. Let's spy the UK. I feel like they're running away here. Let's not let them run away.
Разбрано! Тръгваме! Внимание!
France.
Какво ще наредите? Готови! Внимание! Готови! Да, командире! Внимание! Готови!
Yeah, I can feel that when New Zealand or Australia is defending France, you know, things went wrong for the allies. That's sad. 16,000 casualties, but apparently our general is one of them, and the allies took 1 million already. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Bulgaria. Boys, I present you Bulgaria.
Разбрано!
By France.
Да, командире!
Let's not attack into the... Why do you want to attack into that? By France, indeed. Ah, so many little pockets. It's a little annoying. To take care of them.
Готови за движение! Готови! Внимание! Какво ще наредите? Заповеди, командире! Внимание! Заповеди, командире! Внимание! Заповеди, командире! Какво ще наредите? Разбрано! Внимание! Заповеди, командире! Заповеди, командире! Готови!
Okay, all clean. Time for the final showdown, the invasion of the UK. The final boss of HOI4 is here. Luckily though, with the full Italian navy and the German navy, even though they suck, they have no training, they are partially damaged, we should still have no problems. Yeah, this would have helped a bit.
Готови за движение!
And you may be surprised, but we actually even have some air. Look at this. So, as usual, the key to success are submarines, which we are going to position in here.
Внимание! Какво ще наредите?
We're going with groups of 5 from the usual harbor.
Заповеди, командире! Какво ще наредите? Готов!
To the Hull Newcastle region.
Разбрано!
And we're going to get ready some of these mountaineers and faster divisions to cover the front, maybe even one infantry army to cover the front after we get there.
Внимание!
Okay, remember telling you to go there, though.
Внимание! Готов! Строй се!
Right now, with about 20 days left on the naval invasion, I think that's a pretty decent timing. Make a backup save. Don't throw your run away now. And then follow this exact setup. Submarines in groups of 1 on convoy raiding around the UK in these regions here. You can add a couple more if you want. Not in the North Sea. Set them on convoy raiding, and then you want them to keep being there and distract the Royal Navy, so you may want to set them on naval repair. The engagement, the aggressiveness doesn't matter that much. The rest of the fleet, after a couple of days, make sure the submarines are in position first. So when you can see the Royal Navy engaging them, especially big chunks of the Royal Navy. Okay, yeah, we're happy enough. Now we can set the rest of the fleet on patrol in the North Sea. We want them to be on naval repair and do not engage. We also want to spam disengage in case they are engaged. And finally, any planes you may have, set them in there with air superiority and especially naval strike if possible. And let's see what happens. If you notice that supplies are doing some weird stuff, you can consider blocking sea regions, especially these ones. So we force supplies to go through here. We don't want supplies in here. We don't need this. Don't necessarily need this, but this may cause issues. So we'll leave them there. And also we want to click this arrow, so as soon as the naval invasion is ready, they will trigger automatically. And look at the big dead stock of the UK engaging 4 submarines. Idiots. Okay, we got the dominance. It's a bit early. I think we need a few more days, 6 more days. That's okay. Okay, we got engaged. We don't want to fight any engagements, so we spam disengage. Perfect. So what did we lose? 6 destroyers. Do we care? No. There we go, naval invasion triggered without issues. We still want to keep an eye on the navy and ideally keep disengaging if we get re-engaged. That's quite important. We can even pick some doctrines. Look at this. This one really helps. Now the difficult part is done. In here you just want to be fast and you want to avoid running out of supplies. Then you want to cut off the UK as fast as possible, but I mean, you know the drill. I also just made a video on this, so because we killed so many British divisions earlier in Poland, I don't think they will have that many in here. We're sending over a secondary army to take care of the northern front. And keep pushing. Never stop.
Стройся! Готовы! Готовы за движение! Мирно!
After splitting off the UK, use the best divisions to push south. No rest for the UK. Maybe a couple you can manually use to aim at victory points, but then I use the additional reinforcement armies to take care of the northern front. It's a lot less defended. It's not an issue. And by the way, guys, well, that's a bit later.
Стройся! Мирно! Я ще уловом! Мирно! Да!
But yeah, as expected, the UK really has no divisions in this case. And our submarines on convoy raiding, although they are dying very quickly, they are also preventing them from sending reinforcements. Oh, we got naval invaded. That's not cool.
Внимание!
Yeah, I kind of forgot to set some divisions on naval invasion defense in here. Don't be like me, remember to do that, but it's not a big deal. Because the UK will go down very quickly.
Внимание! Да!
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Where is it? Where was it? Oh. No, I cannot show it from there. Alright then, as soon as you complete this focus, you will get enough political power to annex Yugoslavia. It should be possible to do it already, but if needed, do a land-lease in time to annex them. Then you annex them. Then you annex them, and by doing so, you finally unlock access to these OP focuses. Starting with this one. Takes a while, but it's worth it. Now that we annexed, and by the way, now that we annexed Yugoslavia, we also want to bring back stuff from Romania. We do maybe an influence in there, but also we want to bring back Dobruja. And then... where's the other one? Let me bring back the other one. And then Northern Dobruja. These two, it's important to take these two now because they will automatically accord with the focus.
Заповеди, командире! Да, командире!
And UK, this was easy, but I think it's time for you to go down. Let's check. UK, ooh, 27%, really? Well, I guess Dover will do it. By UK, Bulgaria defeated the Allies with 100% of the score. Now, this is not always the case. If you were a bit slower, or there is a bit of RNG too, maybe sometimes the Soviet Union attacks a bit earlier, it may be that the Soviet Union steals like 10 to 20% of the score. It's totally fine, it's not a problem. You can just let them take part of Africa and have fun with it. But if not, 100% score with Bulgaria is quite awesome. You cannot deny that. Then the peace conference is pretty much free. Do whatever you want. I usually annex these two provinces in case you want to attack the United States later on. I puppet strategic regions like Gibraltar, Suez, and Hong Kong, so we even have an access to Japan later on. And then either annex or puppet everything. Annexing as Bulgaria is very powerful, as we mentioned, so it might be a good idea to annex France and the United Kingdom, or you can just puppet them. By the way, if you don't have enough points, if the Soviet Union is stealing points, annexing is cheaper than puppeting, so generally speaking, you have an advantage in that sense. For the purpose of this video, I'll just make a save now and puppet everything. Oh yeah, by the way, if you puppet Poland, the Soviet Union will attack you, so if you want to avoid that, either annex Poland or Balkanize Poland. And also Japan will attack you if you puppet this region, but I'm not going to care. And finally, some juicy navies for us. And that's it. And so, boys, we did it. We defeated the Axis and the Allies as Bulgaria entirely on our own. Well, with a lot of puppet divisions, I'm not going to lie. But we did it by April 1941. Defeating the Axis and the Allies is impressive on its own, but doing it this early with a minor power, especially one like Bulgaria that starts literally with nothing, is quite satisfying. This is what we control of the world now, directly or indirectly through our puppets, but no faction members. This is all us. And we really cannot complain, can we? So guys, Bulgaria is a challenging country. This is a challenging run. The first part is insane with the amount of tedious decisions you need to go through. But is it worth it? Yes, in my opinion, it is very much worth it. Considering the terrible starting situation and all the trouble we went through to achieve this, it is incredibly satisfying to succeed as Bulgaria. I would like to thank Vades again for helping me with this guide during the live stream. I'll be honest with you guys, this guide was a bit of a nightmare. There were a couple of moments where I was about to give up. The amount of decisions, events and so on, I was just like, no, I'm not having any of this. But I'm glad I went through with it, and I hope you will enjoy this run. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. This is a challenging run, so if you have any issues, feel free to ask, join Discord, send your save files. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, liking, subscribing and leaving a comment really helps, and it's a bit of a reward for the effort I put into it, which was honestly quite insane. That said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye bye!